Hey guys, so let's get into it. We're doing 15 fun facts of Elvis. So it'd be in honor of the movie. We're going to do some movie facts with the new Elvis movie that came out, and then some of Elvis's facts about him. So, number one, we'll start with the movie. Production of the film was delayed due to the pandemic. Remember vintage pandemic days when Tom Hanks was one of the first few celebs to test positive for COVID-19? Elvis was set to launch into filming in Australia at the beginning of 2022 when Butler's co-star Hanks and his wife Rita Wilson came down with the virus, forcing the whole cast and crew to delay filming, which is fair. Number two, several other heartthrobs auditioned for the role of Elvis. Before Butler was cast in the biopic, several other young actors, including Ansel Elgort of The Fault in Our Stars and Baby Driver Miles Teller of Top Gun, Maverick, Aaron Taylor Johnson, and Harry Styles. I could see that too. All auditioned and tested for the role of Elvis. Butler ultimately won the role, though, after being put through the ringer by Lerman with endless auditions, conversations, singing sessions, and more. Number three, Butler learned several new skills to prepare for his role in 2022 Elvis film. Obviously, I feel like anyone would be like that. Unsurprisingly, Butler was also put through the ringer to prepare for his role in the Elvis 22 biopic. Once he secured it, in addition to non-physical training and singing lessons, the 30-year-old actor also took karate lessons every day, studied the life of Elvis and his biggest inspirations, learned to swing and tap dance, and took lessons with a dialect coach to nail the late singer's southern drawl. Butler's accent may never sound the same again. Speaking, Butler took his role as Elvis so seriously that the people noticed him slipping back into the accent even now that filming was wrapped. Despite being from Anaheim, California, Butler seems to have adopted an Elvis-like twang since immersing himself in the role. Now that's some impressive method acting. Elvis met Priscilla when she was 14 and he was 24. At one point in the movie, this is number 5, Elvis tells his wife Priscilla that they would get back together when he was 50 and she was 40. Indeed, the couple had a 10-year age gap in real life, and Priscilla was only 14 when they met in Germany while he was serving in the army. She moved in with him while she finished high school back in the US, and the pair didn't begin an intimate relationship until she turned 21. Okay, and they were finally married based on a promise Presley had made to Priscilla's father. Ooh, what's that promise? What's that promise? Okay. Now, those are some facts about the movie. Now, number 6, Elvis Presley, these are facts about him, popularized quick weddings in the city of Las Vegas. In the film Viva Las Vegas, Elvis Presley had a quick marriage with his co-star Anne Margaret. Due to the success of the film, Las Vegas began to popularize the idea of white little chapels and shotgun weddings in the city. Later on, Elvis had a real wedding in Las Vegas with his wife Priscilla. Today, many of these chapels within the city serve not only as a venue for quick weddings, but also as a tourist attraction. When I went to Nashville, I got to see the wax museum of, it was by the Grand Ole Opry, or however you say that. It was in a mall. It was really cool to see because we got to see like the wax figures of Elvis and his team, and then Minnie Pearl, Reba. It was really cool, but I liked seeing like the old style compared to the new style. I'm pretty sure Dolly Parton, Miley Cyrus was there. Okay, moving on. He enjoyed playing pranks on people while dressed as a police officer. In an interview, Elvis described how he would dress up as a police officer and pull people over to give them his autograph. At the time, Elvis would mainly pull female drivers over when doing so, much to the displeasure of his wife. Today, those Elvis autographs sell for a good sum of money. Oh, I bet. Number 8, he began gaining much more weight towards the end of his career. From the 1960s to the early 1970s, developed a habit of overeating along with taking his prescription drugs. This caused Elvis to quickly gain weight to the point of being severely unmotivated. During this stage in his life, he would need an assistant to help him do small tasks throughout the day, such as getting up and maintaining his diet. Really? Oh my gosh, you got, like, I don't know, I'm pretty big too. And I didn't need assistance. I know a couple people who are even bigger than me, so that's interesting. I'm curious about that. But yes, I would, being a celebrity, in my opinion, you go, or like depending, like if you're singing, like if you're a singer, you go all over the world to tour, but you also probably try all of these foods, and that they're just delicious, and then you could develop an addiction if you are going through these tours and you feel depressed or whatever that is. Elvis Presley went through a great state of depression during his career. So here comes the potential popping of the prescription drugs and personal poor habits. Like it says here, around the late 1960s, Elvis began to develop poor personal habits and in addiction to his prescription drugs. By the early 1970s, he was officially diagnosed with depression and begun taking antidepressants to manage it. Elvis Presley had a twin brother. This is number 10. I did not know he had a twin brother. I knew he had a sibling. Elvis Presley was born in a 2-room house located in Tupelo, Mississippi in 1935. His mother stated that she went through a complicated birth, which led Elvis's twin brother unable to survive the procedure. Okay, never mind. My mind was going elsewhere with this. After being hospitalized, his mother no longer had other children after him. As a result, Elvis grew up to have a good relationship with his mother, who was strongly attached to him. So his brother did not survive. Oh, that's sad. I was just gonna say, like, because people believe that he's still alive and he's not dead out there or whatever, or he's alive out there somewhere, he's not actually dead. Which is possible, but I was thinking, well, what if it's his twin brother? But I didn't know he passed away. Okay, anyways, moving on. Number 11, Elvis had a badge as a narcotics agent from the President of the United States. Elvis Presley once met with Richard Nixon in 1970 at the Oval Office during his presidency. At the time, Elvis already showed signs of his drug addiction, which led him to ask the president for a badge as a narcotics agent. Surprisingly, President Nixon agreed to this despite a lack of training that Elvis had as a narcotics agent. So he just gives celebrities that, eh? Okay. Anyways, Elvis Presley starred in over 30 films. During his career, Elvis Presley got involved in the filmmaking industry as an actor, starring in over 30 feature films. This only made his female fan base grow even wider. At the time, Elvis's performance was considered phenomenal, which left critics with nothing negative to say. Number 8, he was considered a germaphobe. According to his wife, Elvis considered himself an extreme germaphobe. Often Elvis would drink from the part of the mug that was above the handle, knowing fully well that others would not drink from a mug like this. Elvis would also only use one cup that he could only use. All in all, his wife described his habits to be religious when it comes to avoiding germs and dirt. Number 14, many believe that Elvis might have faked his death, what I had mentioned. Due to his condition before the announcement of his death, many turned to believe that Elvis faked his death to run away from the fame and the spotlight. At the time, this was considered to be a common occurrence with large musical celebrities such as Jim Morrison and Tupac. During his musical career, Elvis had recorded over 600 songs and became one of the most commonly impersonated celebrities in the world. Despite the tragic end of his legacy, he was considered one of the greatest icons in early pop culture. Definitely one of the more controversial Elvis Presley facts. And the last one, Elvis Presley had his huge comeback during the early 1960s. After the initial hype of his career, Elvis slowly moved down the musical charts. However, all this turned around during his comeback in the early 1960s, which was simply called Elvis. After a successful run, he released a new album, which put him in the top 10 charts again and sparked his popularity among old and new fans during this time. Elvis also pledged that he would no longer perform songs that he did not believe in, despite the impact it would have on his musical career. Didn't Elvis sing a song that was something to do against racism, or had something to do against discrimination, or was like being an advocate for it, for to stand up to the people who were being racist, and they told him not to sing it, but he did it anyways. I can't remember what it was. If you guys know, please leave me the comments below. This is like a concert years ago. If you hear, that's my dog in the back. She's going a little crazy, because she's crazy. But I'm curious if you believe that conspiracy theory about Elvis faking his death, because it seems to be like it is a possible, well, obviously it's a possibility, but it seems to me like it's a big thing in Hollywood where these people just want to live their own lives. But do you think he would have said something by now if he didn't pass away? It's like, we'll never know. Honestly, I don't think we'll ever know. But like, this reminds me of sort of like Britney Spears, like how she had like her big era, and then she stopped, and then she came back and stuff like that. Like, you know, like she came back, she did, after all that happened. It was her she had some, you know, something. These people kept harassing her. These paparazzi kept harassing her. Her family was not supportive, or they weren't supportive of her health. They weren't supportive of her making money, but that was it. So to me, it just sounded like when she did her comeback, same thing, like the king, Elvis Presley. But I thought Michael Jackson was the king of pop. I don't know. Is it Elvis or is it Michael Jackson? Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think of what's going on with Britney Spears, because I've been going down that rabbit hole and I have some opinions, but I don't want to talk about it on here. I don't want to say anything, because she's been through a lot her whole life, from what I've read and what we've all heard. So I don't want to say anything really, and just leave it out there. But those are some facts of Elvis Presley, and I can't wait to chat more. Bye now.